Hello friends, I'm Neeru, and in this video lecture we will talk about the solar system. This comes under physical geography. In physical geography, we'll talk about the solar system, we'll talk about the interior of the earth, we will talk about different kinds of rocks, different kinds of volcanoes, agents of weathering. A lot will be covered in detail in physical geography. And in SSC, geography and biology are becoming very important. As we notice the trend in the recent years, a lot of questions are asked on biology and a lot of questions are asked on geography. So make sure that these two portions you have done them well. They are quite important. A lot of students ignore the GK section. They ignore the GK section and they feel that my score will not improve in this, and they only score 4 or 5. But I have seen in my experience that those students who are able to take their score up to 25 or somewhere between 25 to 30, which is considered an excellent score in GK, they do very well and they score a very high rank in SSC CGL. Everybody is able to do reasoning, everybody is able to do English reasonably, maths reasonably, but what is it that creates the difference? The difference is created by the GK portion. And in GK, make sure you do the geography portion and biology portion well. So in this video lecture, on behalf of Pinnacle, we will be doing solar system, which is divided into 3 parts, part 1, 2 and 3. And the lecture is based on NCERT books from class 6 to 12 standard. In fact, if you open any NCERT book of geography, this would probably, the solar system would be one of the earliest topics to be introduced to you in geography. Even if you pick up any simple book of 3rd standard or 4th standard, you might see something on solar system, the sun, etc. So now let's do this in detail. What exactly is the solar system? What is it that we refer to as the solar system? The solar system is the sun and those celestial bodies which are bound by the gravity of the sun. What is a celestial body? Celestial body is anything that you see in the sky, that's a celestial body. And the sun, along with its 8 planets, these 8 planets are bound by the gravity of the sun. So the sun along with its 8 planets, then these planets, they have their satellites, all the dwarf planets, all these are covered under the definition of solar system. All these are a part of the solar system. These objects are 8 planets, their known moons, dwarf planets, billions of small bodies. And the small bodies include asteroids, comets, meteoroids and interplanetary dust. So when was the solar system discovered? It was always there. It has been there from a very, very long time. But did humans know about it from day one? Now let's talk about that. For many thousands of years, humanity, with a few notable exceptions, did not recognize the existence of the solar system. We did not know about the solar system. And the study of all these planets, stars, the solar system, different galaxies, universe, etc., that is known as cosmology. So what is cosmology? Cosmology is the study of the universe. Cosmology is the study of the universe. And in the initial stages, we thought the earth to be stationary. We believe that the earth is at one particular point and all other heavenly bodies, they are moving around the earth. And this theory was known as geocentric theory. What was there in the geocentric theory? In the geocentric theory, the earth was in the center and all heavenly bodies moved around it. And Ptolemy was one who supported this theory, or rather gave this theory. But as time passed, we realized that it is not the earth which is in the center, but it is the sun which is in the center and the heavenly bodies are moving around the sun. In fact, it was Aryabhat, a famous mathematician and astronomer from the Gupta period from India, and another Greek philosopher who speculated a heliocentric theory. What is in the helio? Helio means sun. So the sun is going to be in the center and all other heavenly bodies are going to move around the sun. Later, it was Copernicus who was first to develop a mathematically predictive heliocentric theory. You could simply be given a question as to who gave the geocentric theory, who gave the heliocentric theory. According to the heliocentric theory, what is in the center? So just remember these important points. And in this solar system, so we just talked about what exactly is the solar system and what is included in it. And in this solar system, 99% of the system's mass is dominated by the sun. So 99% of the mass is taken over by the sun. We have just 1% left, and out of this 1% also 90% of the mass is then taken away by our biggest planets, Jupiter and Saturn. They take away the rest of the mass. Jupiter and Saturn, the sun's two largest orbiting bodies, they account for more than 90% of system's remaining mass. Most large objects in orbit around the sun lie near the plane of Earth's orbit, known as ecliptic. Now let us take an important look at this picture. Now this is the sun in the center and this is the Earth. Any heavenly body which is moving around the sun, or all those heavenly bodies which are revolving, they do not revolve in a circle, because if they revolve in a circle, then they will always be equidistant from the center. They will always be equidistant, but actually they revolve in an ecliptic. By ecliptic I mean this shape which has been shown in this picture. If they revolve in an ecliptic, there is going to be a time in the entire evolution when they are going to be closest to the center, to the sun in this case, and there is going to be a time when they are going to be the farthest. Any heavenly body, when it is closest to the sun, that position is known as perihelion, and for the Earth this is the perihelion position. And here aphelion position is that position when the heavenly body is at the furthest distance from the sun. So the furthest distance and the nearest distance of a heavenly body from the sun is known as perihelion and aphelion positions. Very, very important, perihelion and aphelion positions. The solar system has total 8 planets. What are they? The 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. The first 4 are known as inner planets and the outer 4 are known as the outer planets. The inner solar system, it contains of the 4 terrestrial planets. The 4 inner ones are also known as terrestrial planets, and they have a main asteroid belt. Whereas the outer solar system is beyond the asteroid belt, and it includes 4 gaseous planets. Please remember this, I'll keep using this in my lecture. 4 inner ones are inner planets or terrestrial planets. Outer ones are outer planets or Jovian planets or gaseous planets. They are made up of gas, completely of gas. So gaseous planets. What exactly is a planet? A planet is any body which is orbiting around the sun, as I just showed you the orbit, the aphelion and perihelion position, and that heavenly body has enough mass and it has formed a spherical shape. It has formed a spherical shape, and it is by this definition that the solar system is known to have 8 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. These are our planets. First one is here. This is the sun, as you can see. The yellowish portion represents the sun. This is the sun. Here you can see this is Mercury. Then we have Venus. Then we have Earth, Mars, and in between Mars and Jupiter we see a lot of heavenly bodies. These are known as the asteroid belt. They are known as the asteroid belt. Then we have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. So this is our solar system. What exactly are dwarf planets? We need to understand this. Pluto was initially considered to be a planet, but later it was de-recognized and then it was named as a dwarf planet. So we need to understand what exactly is a dwarf planet. A dwarf planet is a celestial body which is moving around the sun that is massive enough to be rounded by its own gravity. It will have its gravitational pull, it's going to be round in shape, it's going to move around the sun, but which has not cleared its neighboring region of planetesimals and is not a satellite. Firstly, let's understand what is a satellite. A satellite is any heavenly body which is moving around a planet. The sun is in the center, the planet is moving around it, then any heavenly body which is moving around the planet itself, that will be known as its natural satellite. So any heavenly body which is not a natural satellite, which is not a planet, and which has not cleared its neighborhood, its neighboring region of planetesimals, that will be known as a satellite. And by this definition, the solar system has 5 known dwarf planets. Please remember, you could be given a question as to which of the following is not a dwarf planet, or which of the following is a dwarf planet. Ceres, Pluto, Eume, Makemake and Eris, all these are dwarf planets. Other objects that may be classified as dwarf planets are Sedna, Orcus, Quaoar. Dwarf planets that orbit in the trans-Neptunian region are called Plutoids. These are our dwarf planets. Let's take a look at them. First one here, Pluto. Initially it was considered a planet, but then it's even much smaller in size as in comparison to the moon. And the moon is the Earth's satellite, and this is just 1/4 the size of the moon. The next dwarf planet that we have is Eris. Then we have Ceres, Eume and Makemake. Now let us understand why Pluto was de-recognized in the year around 2006 and 7, and it was no more considered to be a planet. See, this is the sun in the center, and here we have taken all the 4 outer planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune finally, and this is Pluto here. Now all these 4, this is Jupiter, this is its orbit, this is Saturn, this is the orbit, this is Uranus, this is the orbit, as you can see, this is Neptune, this is the orbit. Each of them has their own independent orbit, and they are not cutting through the orbit of any other planet. But in case of Pluto, till here it has its independent orbit, then it cuts through the orbit of Neptune. So to be considered a planet, it is very important that one does not cut through another planet's orbit. Do not cut through another planet's orbit. Extremely important. And Pluto was not doing this. So that is also one reason why Pluto was de-recognized. Next, if any planet is being considered to be a planet, then a body of similar size should not be found in its neighborhood. It should be unique and different from others. That was also not the case with Pluto. Besides, Pluto was quite small in size. As I already told you, it is just 1/4 the size of the moon. So that is the reason that Pluto was de-recognized and it was considered to be a dwarf planet. Now let us talk about the sun. The sun is considered to be the parent star in the solar system. What do we mean by parent star? The most important star. And what is a star? Let's talk about this also. A star is any heavenly body which is going to have its own light and its own heat. That is known as a star. So star is a heavenly body that will have its own light and heat, and it has 75% hydrogen and 25% helium. Please remember, these are the 2 dominant gases on the sun, and it's a star. A star means a heavenly body with its own light and heat. And the nearest star to the earth, let me talk about them also. You may be given a question as to which is the nearest star to the earth. Proxima Centauri, Centauri, Proxima Centauri. This is nearest to the star, and there is another one, Alpha Centauri. Please remember these 2. After the sun, these are 2 important prominent stars. They are very important. Okay. Next, we are a part of the Milky Way. And what is the Milky Way? The Milky Way is our galaxy. Many galaxies make up the universe. We are a part of the Milky Way, or in Hindi as they say, Akash Ganga. You must also remember there is another galaxy known as Andromeda Galaxy. Please remember this, Andromeda Galaxy. And this Andromeda Galaxy is the nearest to our galaxy, which is the Milky Way. Extremely important. Now let's come back to the sun. What do you think is the age of the sun? The sun has been there for around 4.6 billion years, and is going to be for the same period. And how do we know this? How do we calculate the age of the sun? Because these 2 gases on the sun, hydrogen and helium, They have reactions which produce light and heat. And we study these reactions and try to calculate as to what are the resources left with the sun and for how many more years will these reactions keep taking place, how much hydrogen and helium is left. And then we calculate the age of the sun. So the sun is going to be for another 4.6 billion years. The glowing surface of the sun, where you see all the light and heat, that is known as photosphere. And what is corona? Corona is visible during eclipse as a thin circle. If this is my sun, the central portion is known as photosphere, then we have a chromosphere, and then finally there will be a thin outer circle that will be known as corona. Its large mass gives it an interior density high enough to sustain nuclear fusion. Please remember, both these gases, hydrogen and helium, they have nuclear fusions, which release enormous amounts of energy which is radiated into space as electromagnetic radiation as visible light. Generally, hotter stars are brighter. The brighter a star obviously is going to be hotter, that means it's radiating more heat, more energy. However, stars brighter and hotter than the sun are very, very rare, while dimmer and cooler ones are common. The sun has not yet exhausted all its store of hydrogen for nuclear fusion. It provides the pulling force that binds the solar system. Obviously, it has a gravitational pull, and that is the reason that all planets, they revolve around it. It is the ultimate source of heat and light for our solar system, and it is 150 million kilometers away from the Earth. This is the average. I have shown you the aphelion and perihelion positions also, but this is the average. And in spite of being so far away from us, the light of the sun reaches us in 3 minutes and 16.6 seconds. Amazing data, amazing information, amazing fact. So very far away, 150 million kilometers away, but the light reaches us in 8 minutes, it reaches us in 8 minutes and 16.6 seconds. Very, very important. It's given here also, 8 minutes to reach the Earth. Now, how are such huge distances measured? They are measured in light years. They are measured in light years. And what is what is the speed of light? The speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second in vacuum, and nothing known to man can travel faster than light, and this is the speed in 1 second. So what is the speed of light in 1 year? That is known as 1 light year. That is known as 1 light year. So the distance from Earth to the light of the sun takes 8 minutes to reach the Earth approximately. Light's speed is 3 lakh kilometers per second. The distance from Earth to the sun is 1 astronomical unit, and 1 astronomical minutes means this whole distance, or AU. The solar system, as I told you, we are a part of the Milky Way, that is our galaxy or Akash Ganga, and the closest galaxy to us is known as the Andromeda. Now, this is a picture of a total solar eclipse. What happens in a total solar eclipse? Total solar eclipses are rare because the sun is the largest body in the solar system. So to have another body to cover up almost the whole of the sun, it's very difficult. So we have total solar eclipses, and in these total solar eclipses they are rare. The outer portion of the sun which is visible, it is a very thin round spherical shape, that is known as the corona. Sometimes you are given questions as to, during a total solar eclipse, which part is visible, that is known as the corona, or the diamond ring, that is known as. And now let's look at the sun. This is the central portion known as the core. Then outside that we have this portion, the radiation zone. After that we have the convection zone. The entire inner portion is known as the core. Then we have a photosphere, the area of bright light. Then the outer portion, this thin portion that you can see, the orange in color here. My pen is not really not very smooth. So this outer portion that you can see, this is known as the corona. Extremely important. Okay. And with that, we come to the end of part 1 of the solar system, in which we have talked in detail about what is the solar system, what is the sun, what exactly is a planet, why is Pluto no more a planet. We have discussed all that. In part 2 of the lecture, we will talk in detail about the planets. We will take each planet, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars and so on, and we will talk in detail about them. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. All the best.